all come together for this matchbox build. Well, it's not a matchbox, it's a dinky. And I've been working hard day and night to bring you this one. It's not just took a day in my life. And I started off when I was back in the USSR. So I think we should all come together now and make this car. It's not just going to be a day tripper, it'll be an everyday driver. And if you want to know a secret, hang about. And it takes 8 days a week, this thing. It's really battered. And this video is going to be from me to you. Anyway, this is our starting point. A beaten and battered dinky Rolls Royce Phantom 5 that somebody had the courtesy of hitting in the middle of the road with a hammer. And here I'm taking the base off. And we'll say hello and goodbye to that. And I'm struggling a bit here to punch the dot. I could have done with a bit of help. So I called a lad over. I said, "Hey, Jude, give us a hand." Anyway, here we go. Drilling the base. And this is a Spurs car. I used it for the window because the window unit, with it being hit with a hammer on the other one, had an airline cracking down the back window. And I wanted this to be as nice as possible. And here I've stripped it into all its component parts, the same as my actual vehicle I'm doing. I'll be doing this Rolls Royce at a later date. I've bought new bumpers and grille for it. I need a bonnet. And now I need a new glass for it, but it's going to be a rebuild. And here I'm knocking out the roof, knocking out the dents and the buckled, let's see on this one. Thinking of the body, it's an A, B, I think it's a C or D pillar. But it's buckled anyway. I'll have a look in a minute when you can see it sanded down after it's been beaten out. Here it's probably a bit late. I put a toilet roll, some cardboard underneath it to shield it from the knocking, so it doesn't get marks on the outside of the roof as I'm tin bashing it out. Took quite a bit of knocking out, to be honest. I could have definitely done with some help there, but I felt fine after I'd done it. And here we are, there's the car. It was the AB, it was the C pillar that was buckled. And there we are, looking fine. And here I'm mixing some JB weld to fix the little imperfections that are left. I'm just going to put a skim over the roof to make it that little bit nicer. And we were working it out here. And we're working it out. I'd already primed it, so I just paint stripped the bottom half. And there we are, it's all crackling up lovely. And at that point I had plenty to twist and shout about. And here I'm rubbing down the side with being hit by the, I don't know whether it was being hit by the hammer or a factory imperfection in the casting, but there's a crack down the rear wheel arch, so I actually put a bit of milliput in that and then sanded it back. You'll probably be able to see when I take my hand away. There's a crack just in front of the filler cap, pretty much in the middle of, well, middle to rear of the wheel arch. And here I'm putting it into primer. And have a look what the actual repairs are like, and then if they're good we'll let it be. And there we go. At this point, if that's my airbrush, is it my airbrush or a rattle can? It's a rattle can. It's still primer. And at this point it's gone into colours, and I think you'll be guessing by now what it is. It's no magical mystery tour anymore. I guess people have sussed it out. And I decided not to go the decals route. I decided to go the hand painting route. So everything I'm going to be doing on it is going to be hand painted. Which, looking back on it now, I still have a headache. And it was particularly difficult for me at the moment, because I'm still not fully free of the convids. I still have brain fog, which concentration for me, for anything over an afternoon, gives me brain fog. In fact, if I'm fully honest, fully concentrating on anything for over an hour gives me brain fog. So it's not good. And it doesn't help hand painting when I have me hippie shakes. Bloody brushes everywhere. But I suppose we can work it out. There we go. Dipping the screen into the actual floor polish. I've got a snotty there. Must have been something on the surface that had dried. We're not using it for a while, so we dip it again. Swirl it around, and it comes out all good. So I'll let that be. And here we are. We have the bumpers, and the top one's one I ordered from Model Supplies, and the bottom one was the one that was on it. Unfortunately, the top one is the incorrect bumper. It's from another dinky model of the Rolls-Royce Shadow 5. So if you order parts for this particular dinky and the other Shadow 5, bear in mind there are two variants of it. And anyway, here we go. This is where I'm starting hand painting. The wings were masked off because I was going to do it a blue. And it's worth bearing in mind I'm using a blue candy paint or if you use inks, always bear in mind what you're painting over the top of and prepare to mask for it, because if I'd have painted this blue over the top of the yellow, your primary school education tells you, with it being a transparent paint, it'll take the yellow up underneath and you'll get green. So always think ahead when you're masking and painting and what you're going to do. I've got used to it over years with being an artist, but it's worth time when taking your time when you're doing paint jobs to think how you're going to do it and how your paints react with other paints, whether it's a compatible system. If they're slightly transparent paints, will it show the paint up underneath and make another colour that you didn't intend? Will they actually, if you mix colours together, will they muddy each other? A typical example, if you mix red with green, it's its opposite on the colour wheel, so in effect all you'll get is a grey. They'll tone each other's colour out. There we are, just brushing along, being mindful of me hippy shakes. And there, I'm just doing a circle on the roof for his symbol on the roof. It was, I'll mention it later, I'm doing a little section on it later, what were the inspiration. People called it a psychedelic Rolls Royce, which in some ways were correct, but in other ways was totally incorrect. And I'll tell you for why in a little section I've got further on. And here we go, I've done the panel work, some of the lining, and basically getting near. That's when I've done the red onto it. And looking mighty fine. Getting used to painting again and doing hand painting is something I do in my life. And here we are, we're doing a technique that I'll go over in the section after. It's a type of painting that is something on its own, and was why the car was incorrectly named well, it was correct in one way, that it were multicoloured. If you want to look at a proper psychedelic car, John Lennon's Bentley was a proper psychedelic car. I'll tag a picture on the very end after me reveal on the turntable, so you can see what John Lennon's Bentley were like. In some ways it were much nicer than the Rolls Royce. But here we are, I'm still doing this. It's got a name, this painting, I'll explain it any second. Anyway, here we go. The painting style was from British things like canal boats. It was from two influences. It was from canal boats and gypsy caravans. The canal boats were called Roses and Castles painting, as can be seen, somebody doing it here. And on the gypsy caravan side, it was scroll work that was taken off that, and panelling work. Anyway, here we're spraying it in lacquer, and this was one of them butt clenching moments. And is it going to react or not? And as happens, I got a couple of reactions, but in the main they settled out, so It's passable, I suppose. It could have been nicer, but at the same time, it's not fully bad. I quite like it, to be honest. And this is going on for quite a long time. I should have edited that bit out, I suppose, but hey ho. Here we go, I'm doing the boot lid. That's in lacquer now. Anyway, here we go. It's, as I've said, it's been a long and winding road. And I've said hello, and it's nearly time for me to say goodbye. But the only other thing I can say is that I'm still trying to lose weight, because I'm a bit of a walrus. But anyway, enough dissed. Here we go, nearly time for the reveal. And we're just going to change over and have a look now. And here we go, here's where we finished up. John Lennon's called psychedelic, but not technically psychedelic, Rolls Royce, as it was inspired by gypsy caravans and the roses and castles paintwork on canal boats. So it was actually way before the 60s time this paintwork we used. I think I've done it justice, and it's looking very nice and a nice part for my cabinet. And the other one that I used parts from, I'm reordering the parts, and that'll be one in the future. All that it remains for me to say now is thank you for watching. If you subscribed, thank you very much for staying with me. And if you've not subscribed, please do so. And anyway, take care and bye for now.